Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. If you like what you hear, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss fresh updates. Now, let's dig into this headline. Simon Ekpa pleaded to be the next Biafra president. What's going on? What's real? What's political theater? Let's unpack it all. Simon Ekpa. Who is he? You probably know him as the self-proclaimed Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, BRGIE, an organization pushing for the restoration of Biafra, separate from Nigeria. He has been a controversial figure, often making bold statements, organizing referenda, mobilizing protests, and being accused by authorities of fomenting unrest in the southeast. So the claim that he pleaded to be the next Biafra president, what might that mean? Let's look at the context. Recently, Ekpa was tried in Finland and sentenced to 6 years in prison. The Finnish court found him guilty of terrorism-related offenses, tax fraud, and illegally practicing as a lawyer, among other charges. The court said that between August 2021 and November 2024, he used networks to equip groups with weapons and explosives to further the separatist agenda. Now, whether he literally pleaded to be president or is trying to assert a leadership claim in the Biafra movement, may be a mix of rhetorical strategy and political posturing. It's possible he's trying to position himself as the face of Biafra to reclaim or consolidate authority among factions. That narrative works for him in terms of rallying support, maintaining relevance, and influencing discourse, even while incarcerated. Let me explain a few threads you should know. First, the Biafra referendum. Ekpa's BRGIE conducted a self-referendum between February and November 2024, asking whether the people of the southeastern region approve restoring Biafra as an independent state, renamed United States of Biafra. After the referendum, BRGIE declared Biafra restored in November 2024. Of course, the Nigerian government rejected that and sees the move as null and void under the constitution. Many skeptics also question the legitimacy of the process. But from Ekpa's side, that is a foundational claim to political legitimacy. Second, the dynamics in IPOB and BRGIE. Ekpa claims to have taken leadership and has sometimes been seen as a successor or rival to Nnamdi Kanu, the founder of IPOB, who is currently detained in Nigeria. But relations are complex. IPOB has disassociated itself from some of Ekpa's more militant moves, and there are competing claims over authority, strategy, and ideology. So, the question of who leads Biafra is contested, not settled. Third, the reality on the ground. In the southeast, there have been reports of attacks, abductions, and sit-at-home orders associated with separatist groups. For example, in one incident along the Okigwe-Owerri highway, 30 people were killed, and the Eastern Security Network, ESN, considered an armed wing of IPOB, was suspected. Also, in Eba in 2024, on Biafran Heroes' Day, clashes left several people dead, allegedly involving actors tied to ESN, BRGIE, and government forces. These kinds of violent flashpoints give real weight to the stakes of who leads and how policy or strategy is executed. So, when someone says Ekpa wants to be the next president of Biafra, it is not just symbolic. It's a claim over authority, over who speaks for the movement and who controls potential future structures, government, security, institutions. If the movement ever gained actual political power or territorial control. Let me talk to you directly now. Think with me. if Ekpa were to be accepted by many as the president of Biafra? What would that mean? It would centralize power and reduce fragmentation among separatist factions. It might sharpen contrast with the Nigerian state. More confrontation, more risk. It could alienate moderates who prefer negotiation, federalism, or restructuring instead of full secession. It brings tangible questions. Who holds the guns? Who pays for governance? Which territory? Because even if you declare Biafra restored, you must deliver security, economy, social services, international recognition. Huge challenges. Many past secession efforts in history failed because they collapsed under those burdens. Now, a few more angles. The Nigerian government has repeatedly called for Ekpa's extradition, saying he must face trial for alleged crimes committed in Nigeria. Finland's involvement is tricky, balancing local laws and international pressure. Their courts have tried and convicted him. Among the people in the southeast, opinions are divided. Some support the push for greater autonomy, even independence. Others are concerned about the bloodshed, disruption, economic losses. There's also the fear that self-declared titles, president, prime minister, may be empty without structural backing or recognition. Let me bring this full circle. If Ekpa is actually pleading to be the next Biafra president, it's both an audacious statement and a political gambit. He's taking leadership, trying to define legitimacy, and forcing both supporters and opponents to respond. Whether that claim will stick, whether his sentence, his incarceration, or internal division will undermine it, is still unfolding. If you are in Biafra, hypothetically, or among the political strategists, would you accept a leader who's jailed abroad? Would you demand someone living in the region? Would you prioritize peace, negotiation, or radical action? Tell me, what do you think? Would a self-declared president of Biafra be meaningful or just rhetoric?